Good evening, students. We at MIT SD would like to welcome all in this session on building an effective profile on LinkedIn, a platform which has its own brand and playing a major role in the work of corporate networking. Also, I am glad to introduce over here the speaker for today's session, Mr. Rakesh Gaur, who is a senior enterprise account director with LinkedIn with over 14 years of experience. His domain of experience are key account management, team management, business development, market analysis, and campaign management. So, we all welcome Mr. Rakesh Gaur, and I would like to hand over the session to him. Over to you, Rakesh.
Thank you so much, Amar. And I would just be going off camera, everyone, so that the bandwidth is better for everyone. Amar, just to confirm, my slides are visible, right?
Yes, they are visible.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for removing time on a Saturday evening, 1 hour, and I hope I would be able to add value of your time. I'm personally very excited to welcome all of you to this session, what we called as Build Your LinkedIn Profile or Rock Your LinkedIn Profile. This typically is a program which we run to help educate our members. Members are essentially people like you and me who have profiles on LinkedIn. Our customers, we run it for not-for-profit organizations, and basically the entire session will cover how you can communicate your professional story, and it will also help connect to opportunity on LinkedIn. To introduce myself, my name is Rakesh. I work as a senior enterprise account director for LinkedIn in West India. Before we move ahead, I would just like to take you through what we would be covering today and what you all can expect over the next 45 minutes. We will cover something about why LinkedIn as a platform, why you all should be there, and you can get to know a little bit about LinkedIn. Then we'll deep dive into how you could make small edits into your LinkedIn profile, how you can communicate. I'm sure each one of you has a unique story to tell, how you can do that on LinkedIn as a platform, little bit beyond your LinkedIn profile in terms of what is thought leadership, how you can write posts, write long posts on LinkedIn. And towards the end, I'll also cover a little bit from a job seeking aspect, and we could leave the last 15 minutes for a quick Q&A on the platform. Right, let's get to know a little bit about LinkedIn. Right, so LinkedIn as a platform is all about you. It's your professional community and how you are helping connect to opportunity. LinkedIn will not get anywhere alone. It takes a community of people to help us be successful. So that's why I request all of you to be active on the platform. As we move ahead, let's just take a quick into what is our vision. Our vision is our true north. It defines what we actually are. It drives us every day what we do at LinkedIn. Our vision is creating economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So members are coming to LinkedIn for different things. Someone is coming for learning, someone is coming from a job seeking possibility, someone is coming for networking. Every person who comes to LinkedIn, we should have something for them. So it's about creating that economic opportunity. Right, let's have a look at what our mission is. Our mission is our overarching objective. It's something that is realizable, measurable, and ideally inspirational. Our mission is connecting the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. Now that you have a little bit of idea of what LinkedIn is, let's get into something, why LinkedIn, right, as a platform. How do we create value for you as individuals? So how do we create value? What is our value proposition for all of you? Our value proposition is basically connecting to opportunity, something which I just discussed earlier. And this connect to opportunity is whatever it means for you as individuals, right? Some of you, as I said, would be there for a job. Some of you would want to build a professional brand. Some of you would come to LinkedIn to learn a new skill. So whatever you come to LinkedIn for, our value proposition for you is we should be able to connect you to that specific opportunity on LinkedIn. And how do we plan to do it? We plan to do it by creating the world's first economic graph. What is the economic graph about? What does this mean? Well, LinkedIn has some very powerful data. This tool and insights is something what will help you. We have over 706 million members globally. As we speak, we are adding 5 members every 2 seconds on LinkedIn. We have over 50 million companies who are using us. There are millions of jobs that are created on the platform every minute. From the members profiles, we are also able to understand what are the skills. We have over 36K skills at any given time. We have over 90K universities who are using us. And very few of you would know that LinkedIn is also the largest publishing platform globally. So we are having 280 billion feed updates that are happening on the platform. 280 billion feeds alone were recorded in the year 2019 on LinkedIn. Right now that you know a little bit about LinkedIn, let's just get into what this session will look like the next 40 minutes. So my idea of covering the next 40 minutes would be into four halves. We'll first fix on how we can work on your identity. Next part, we'll get into how you can network on LinkedIn. We'll cover a bit on how you can gain knowledge. And then we would cover the communication part and the jobs part later. Right, so let's get into the first part of your profile story. Your LinkedIn profile is a digital portfolio that represents you and tells your professional story. Think of it less as a resume and more as a dynamic digital portfolio that is engaging, visual, and also highlights your experiences and skills. Just imagine this as your digital brand, right? A digital brand for Rakesh, for Rohit. Just imagine it that way and design your profile accordingly. So let's kick off this session by giving you some ideas of certain best practices and recommendations on LinkedIn that can help strengthen your LinkedIn profile. Let's start with, these are some things what I would want you as individuals to make a note of. Just take a minute if you have a notebook with you or somewhere where you would like to make this note of. Think of three adjectives what you want to be known by, right? Go around, ask your friends, ask your colleagues that how would you recognize, say, Rakesh as a member, and how are they aligned to your current role. Some of you would be in marketing, some of you would be in sales, some of you would be in tech, some of you would be in procurement. Just think of what these adjectives are. And as we move ahead, you can actually go ahead and add that on your LinkedIn profile, in your headline, in your summary, at different places, what we'll cover. Right, let's start by the first step, which is the professional photo. The stats are there for you to see on the right, so I'll not be discussing that. Make sure that you select a LinkedIn profile photo that truly represents you. It need not be a perfect photo. It just has to tell your professional community who you are. It has to be a professional headshot. Avoid having two people, three people in one picture. Not having a profile picture is also not that great. I recommend everyone to have a profile picture on LinkedIn. You can just snapshot it on your own. Make sure the photo is in high resolution, has good lighting, and it features you. It should be all about you, right? In fact, did you know that LinkedIn has photo filters just like other social media platforms, which can help polish your photo, as you can see it on your screen. So you can probably, put certain filters, you can crop the image as you want, and then you can have it displayed on your profile picture. So many of you who do not have a profile picture yet on LinkedIn, I think you should go back and add that. Right after you add a profile picture, the next step would be adding background images. Again, this can be something that you're passionate about. It's called as a cover pick in many of the places. You can pick up some things from the internet. If you have a passion in photography or say a location, just feel free to add that, or certain words that you find on the internet that resonates with you, go ahead and add that as the background image. Right, step two is adding your industry. Adding your industry is really, really important on LinkedIn. Often it's how others will find you and add you to their professional network. In addition, adding your industry will give you up to 9x more profile views. Members with industry information are discovered up to 38 more times in recruiter searches. So LinkedIn as a tool is also used by various recruiters across the globe. So that's how it will help you. It's simple. You just need to click on the pencil icon, what you see on the top of your profile where your headshot is, and you can go ahead and add the industry. Now that you've added industry on LinkedIn, the next step is how you can draft a compelling summary on LinkedIn. Think about this as your elevator pitch. If I have to just best describe Rakesh in about 40 words, what would that be? It should include a short introduction to you, also highlight your accomplishments and aspirations. Keep it short and sweet. No need to list down all your career accomplishments. You will have an experience section later in the LinkedIn profile for that. Feel free to highlight your unique talents and how you want to contribute to LinkedIn as a platform or the world overall. Also, did you know that adding a summary of 40 words or more makes your profile more likely to turn up into a future employer search? So the more short and crisp you keep it, the more chances it is to be visible as you move ahead. Right? The next part of building the LinkedIn profile would be your work experience. Experience is your opportunity to tell your professional story and talk about your accomplishments with each of the roles you've had. A great way to showcase your experience is to write it in short paragraphs rather than writing it in bullet points. You can use a couple of bullet points here and there, but majority it should read like a story, your professional story. If you worked at a startup company or a smaller company that isn't well known, give a brief introduction to the company before you detailing your work experience. Lastly, it's great to talk about what you did in your role. It's even better to showcase the impact you had, results you delivered, and the change that you created in your current role. Now that we've spoken about work experience, let's dive into something we call as rich media, where you can actually add examples of your work. So what is rich media? Rich media is either a photo, video, or a presentation, or basically anything else that visually enhances your profile and makes it more dynamic. Help connect people into what you do by adding rich media to your experience. Keep in mind, this need not be content of your own. For example, if your company has a brand video or certain other company brand assets, you can use them in your profile, especially in your experience section. Of course, please check with your marketing team and your corporate communications team if that is allowed to be put in open media. Feel free to add that over here. Right? As we move ahead, let's talk about the volunteer experience as well. Adding volunteer experience in your profile is a great way to round out your professional identity and uniquely tell your story. Make sure you add your volunteer experience and give a quick 1-2 sentence description of what you've done specifically for that organization. Today, a lot of people are working for a lot of NGOs and not for profit organizations. Make sure you showcase that in your profile. Did you know that almost half of the hiring managers say that volunteer experience is equivalent to formal work experience? It's a very important and integral part of your professional identity. The skills part, adding skills to showcase is what all you've learned is great. A lot of you are also using LinkedIn Learning. As you learn those new skills, feel free to add it on your profile. Adding at least 5 or more skills can again increase your profile views by 17x times. Professionals also search key skills across LinkedIn as a platform, so it's a great way to be get found by another people in your network. Just remember, you are in full control of your skills. You can choose in what order you want to display your skills, and you can also choose the way people will endorse you for these skill sets. You can also, as I said, you can also choose what skills you want to showcase in the top 5 in your LinkedIn profile. As we move ahead towards the later stages, you can start requesting people for recommendations. Once you have a complete profile which is ready on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will rank your profile as a all-star profile. Once your profile is complete and you've done the basic edits, you can start requesting for recommendations. How would you request for recommendations? Always customize your request. Make sure you let the other person know what you want to be recommended for. It could be a project, it could be something you initiated as a lead. Also, make sure when you make the request, try and ask certain senior leaders or executives where you're working or where you worked in the past for the recommendations, right? It shouldn't be something that, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, something like that. So try and ask someone you've worked with in the past. Choose people you've worked with closely, as I said, who can provide specific examples of your work, what are your strengths and how your skills actually help them in their current organization. In case any of you have queries on how you can ask for a recommendation, in the Q&A section, I could probably go live and show you how you could ask that. Right? And also the tiny bits, don't forget to complete your profile by adding location, education, in case some of you have certain publications of your own as well, certain key accomplishments, you can add that also in your profile. If any of you have received an industry honor or won an award, these types of things are great to feature in the accomplishment section in your profile. Feel free to add that as well, right? Now that you've built your LinkedIn profile completely and you've got the all-star on your profile, which means the basic fields are complete, let's look into how you can start leveraging LinkedIn as a platform and build a strategic network, right? So the next thing I want to discuss is about how you can actually showcase your voice on LinkedIn as a platform, how you can build thought leadership. LinkedIn is essentially a place where you can share insights, your expertise, as well as your opinions, right, with your professional community. So how you can do that typically is by, we are talking on two things. One is sharing updates and the other is publishing. There are two things. There is a little bit difference in both the things, which I'll cover in the next 5 minutes. right? The first way, what I've spoken about, is to share your perspective, which is quick and is a high touch point through updates, right? Which is something that you can just put on the go. The second is your opportunity to explore a topic a little bit more in detail through publishing. What's the basic difference? Sharing updates is a way for you to quickly share knowledge, perspective, and insights on what you care about, where publishing is where you publish a content for you to explore a topic by writing a long post on LinkedIn. Right? Let's look at how you can start this. You can get started by sharing a status update on your homepage of LinkedIn. You will see the share box on top once you sign in into LinkedIn. There are a couple of things that can help your status update stand out from the rest of the crowd. And let's look at what that is, right? Certain best practices. So you can share your authentic voice. LinkedIn's a platform where you can have your voice heard by your professional community. So my request to all of you is to be authentic, stay on brand, and show up consistently. Post frequently. By sharing frequently, you can create more opportunities for you and your content to be discovered. A pro tip could be adding a reminder to your calendar to post something, say once a week or once every day, right? Starting a conversation. Post something quick and snappy that engages your professional community. Pose a question. Provide your perspective on current events or an article, or give an insider viewpoint. The more people engaging with your content you post, the more it gets shared and noticed across your LinkedIn feed. Including rich media. Again, we covered this earlier. Include photos, videos that help stand your, that will help your post stand out with others. Posts that include rich media often get more comments and likes on LinkedIn. Also think about reciprocity, right? When posting a status update, think of things that you can share that will benefit your professional community. This also goes a long way ahead. Use status update to post questions or get insights and thoughts from a professionals that you care about on LinkedIn. These were a few best practices on sharing updates. Let's look at what you can do on publishing on LinkedIn as a platform. Amar, am I going too fast or is it good? I just thought, let me check. Okay, let's look at publishing on LinkedIn, right? So what happens when you publish or write that long post on LinkedIn? It becomes a part of your profile. It gets shared with all the people you're connected with on your network, and it reaches a larger group of professionals, right? We spoke on the 705 million professionals that we have on LinkedIn. Once you've published content on LinkedIn, people can follow you to stay on top of what you say, and also the post, what you keep posting on LinkedIn. Publishing content on LinkedIn is a great way to establish thought leadership within your professional community, typically the professionals who matter to you the most. Similar way of starting it, where you can start on the homepage, and below you'll see it's something called write an article. That's where you need to click and you can go and publish your long post on LinkedIn. Certain best practices of publishing content: create a headline that stands out. Ask yourself if you would click on it in your busy day, right? So just think of it, of making the headline as creative as possible. Put yourself in the person's shoes, right? Include a photo. Always make sure you add a cover photo as well as photos, and also photos throughout your article. This actually helps break the content you post on LinkedIn. Articles with cover photos get more views and comments than those who do not put pictures in their articles. Be authentic. Again, make sure you show up as the authentic yourself. You all have a lot of experience and expertise, and people want to hear your views, your insights, and your perspective. So make sure that you're authentic. Think about your total audience. Remember to think about your audience and what they would benefit for. Tailor your content to give back to the professional community on LinkedIn as a platform. And also, last but not least, your article length. You can write a long form post, but make sure it's not really that long, right? The sweet spot for an article on LinkedIn is anywhere between 600 to 1000 words. Try and keep your article length somewhere between that, right? Once you've published the article, you can simply just click on view stats and also view the progress of the article, right? You could see what industry, from where industries your article is being viewed, what are the titles, what are the companies your article is being viewed from. So you can essentially track the entire progress right up to your second degree network on LinkedIn, on who is viewing this content of yours. Let's move to the third stage where we generally talk about how you can gain knowledge and insights on LinkedIn. LinkedIn helps you stay on top of news, content, companies, and professionals again that matter most to you. How you can do that? The first stage is you can actually choose companies, your dream companies, and follow them on LinkedIn. You can do this, simply do this by going to the company page and go ahead and click on follow that company. Following a company helps you stay on top of news, trends, and also certain new product launches for that company. The second way you could stay on top is by following influencers. Follow industry influencers to stay on top of key trends, any particular topics and insights from particular people who matter to you and people who you really admire. Right? Bill Gates is one of them. You have Indian influencers. There are Indian actors like Boman Irani, Priyanka Chopra, Narendra Modi. A lot of people from the cabinet are also there on LinkedIn who are talking and publishing content day in, day out. So you can choose these people who we call as influencers and choose to follow them on LinkedIn. Right? There's an advanced search button for all of you. LinkedIn has certain advanced search filters to help you find things that matter to you, and most quickly you can get to them, right? These advanced search options are also there for jobs, companies, as well as people. So you could set filters again which are relevant to you. As we move ahead, I'm sure a lot of you would also have certain concerns in terms of how you can improve and customize your feed. So once you visit your LinkedIn profile, you will see these tiny three dots on the extreme right, right? What you see on my screen here. Let me try and just highlight it for you. This particular three dots. Once you click on that, as a member, we give you complete control on your LinkedIn feed. We want to empower you to consume the content that matters to you. So you can actually click on that and manage your feed preferences, and again choose, deselect, select things that you want to see on the platform. You can choose to follow or either unfollow people, companies, and influencers. You can also choose to hide posts that aren't relevant to you. So spend some time here, click on improve my feed, and you can actually customize the entire option over there, right? We spoke on how you can go ahead and hide the post as well. Now we've spoken on how you can build your LinkedIn profile. We've spoken on how you can gain knowledge, and we've also spoken on the aspects of how you can publish and how you can share updates on LinkedIn as a platform. Right? As we move towards the later half, I would spend say the next 15 minutes in covering on how you can increase your network, and the last part on the jobs aspect. Right? So there are 4 points which I'm talking about in building the professional network. Right? So 50% of hires that happen on LinkedIn as a platform are a result of the personal connection that you already have on LinkedIn. Right? How does your LinkedIn connection network look like? Typically, it's broken into the third degree connect. The first degree connects are people who are already connected to you. Second degree is one level beyond that, and then the third. Right? Research on LinkedIn show that typically your weak connections, what I mean by weak connections, the second or third degree networks are often more valuable for your job search than your strong and existing connections already, because their network are more diverse than your own. So someone who is in your second degree further would have say a 2000 or 3000 connects on LinkedIn. To give you an example, my neighbor's sister works like say for Amazon. I would have met her only once, but if I want to work at Amazon, she can help me find jobs there and connect me with people who are in my field. Each time when you connect with someone new, their own extended network would become your network as well. So spend time in connecting with the right people on LinkedIn. Right? And how you could connect, my request to all of you who are there today on the call would be to personalize the invitation. On LinkedIn, we give you that option to customize your connection request, to explain why you're interested in adding a second or third degree connect to your LinkedIn network, whether it is to learn about their career journey, or through an you're asking for an informational interview, or to even request a referral. Right? Most LinkedIn members often or always respond to a request or a referral more, because once you customize the request, right? So make sure you customize the request. If someone just bluntly sends me a LinkedIn invite, I might not accept that. But if there is a personalized invitation there and why that person is reaching out to me, I'm more likely to respond to that person. And that might just lead to your next career opportunity. So spend time in researching about a little bit about the person, about the company, how you can add value there, and then send that invitation across. How you could discover existing connections on LinkedIn, right? You could, it's as simple as you can import your email IDs. You can look for friends or family. You can look at former colleagues, former managers. Again, that LinkedIn gives you that option which says people you may know. So just spend some time on clicking on the My Network tab, what you see in the second box in the image, and you can go and increase your network on LinkedIn as a platform. In case you want to search for new connections, again, you have an option to go into the second network, third network. You can search basis the advanced filters we spoke on, basis name, companies, location, and keyword, and go ahead and look for people in your second and third degree network on the platform. We covered on how you can send across the personal invitations over here. These are certain best practices, again, which I've covered in terms of speak about something that is common between you and them. Speak about certain interests. Like if I want to work at, say, Starbucks, I would probably say that, hey, I come from a FMCG background. This is the, or say a hospitality background. This is the way how I can add value. I know that Starbucks is opening, say, 10 more outlets in my city. And this is how I feel I can add value. And also including certain aspects in terms of who I am as a person, how I actually found their profile. Was it through a referral? Was it just through browsing LinkedIn? And how they can actually be of help to me. If I include a short para on all of this and send the request across, high probability that my request might get accepted on LinkedIn. Right, moving to the second last stage, and hopefully we should have 10 to 15 minutes then for a Q&A, is how you can actually expand your network and how you could ask for referrals. So every company has a referral program, right? Most of the employees would be happy to refer you if they find you a right match there. Like to give an example, in LinkedIn, we have a strong referral program. If there is a relevant opportunity which is displayed on LinkedIn's company page and someone reaches out to me who's relevant to that role, I would be more than happy to refer him because most of the employees would also earn certain amount through these referral programs, right? So it's simple. You can message your connections again through LinkedIn or their LinkedIn profile company page. You could go ahead and see who are your common connects over there and start reaching out to those individuals on the platform. We spoke on how you can ask for informational interviews. On the left, you see an image which is an example of how you can actually ask that. There are certain purposes, certain examples again we've given where you can ask for career advice. You can actually understand about the industry in which they are or a specific brand, and just this helps establish that professional bond with that person. Even if you don't get anything out of that interview or you don't get to that interview, you could always stay connected with that particular individual going forward. So feel free to take a picture or a snapshot if you feel, or I could forward this deck. There is also a handout put out in the chat on the steps on how you could build your LinkedIn profile. So you could download that and keep it with you as well as your future references. Right, another specific example on how you can request for a referral, where we are speaking on a specific role and how you would appreciate your connection if in case they are able to refer you. This is another example of a particular referral over there. Right, how you could add value and how you could engage with your specific network again is typically through these four aspects. So I always say I'm a firm believer that yes, there are a lot of social media platforms today, but the other social media platforms are where you spend time. LinkedIn is one professional platform where you're actually investing time, right? You're investing time for yourselves, for your connections. Like and share things again in your network that you care about, that people care about. You can also join various groups on LinkedIn. You can also look for your alumni networks on LinkedIn and try and give people recommendations as many as possible on the platform, right? It might just help them ahead in their career journey as well. Moving to the last part that I want to cover today in the next 5 minutes, and probably then we can open it up for a Q&A, is how you can search and apply for jobs on LinkedIn. Typically do these 6 things, which is you can set career interest, You can search for jobs, you can create alerts, how you can review jobs that you are interested in, follow companies, something we've covered on. And again, I always say that apply actively so that it will be visible on both the platforms, on the LinkedIn app as well as your desktop. 25 million people are visiting LinkedIn every week for jobs, right? That's a massive number. Every 7 seconds, someone is hired through LinkedIn across the globe. That is the number of jobs that are there on the platform. That is the number of members we are impacting every day. How you can set your career interest? Go to your profile again, that tiny pencil icon you see. You can actually click on set career interest there. People who are actively looking out for a job could actually make their career interest as open. You can choose what kind of companies you want to be visible to, what kind of companies you would love to apply. And let me also share that we are a member first company. So in case your existing companies are using the LinkedIn recruiter tools as well, they do not get to know. It's done in complete privacy, and that's the biggest advantage that is passed on to members, right, as a platform. How you can search for jobs? Again, you can visit the jobs tab, what you see on the LinkedIn top taskbar. Once you click on jobs, again, you would have the options to search jobs by keyword. You can search jobs basis specific job titles, certain specific companies that are your dream companies that you have in mind. You can also break it up basis your experience level and when they were posted on LinkedIn, right? And the similar interface is there on the LinkedIn app as well, and you can choose to apply from both the platforms. What you can also do is create alerts in case you do not see jobs that are relevant to you currently in some of your dream companies. You can go on that company page and also set alerts for those specific jobs, right? And the alerts can again be customized basis all the criteria that you see on your screen right now. Any specific company that you want to be a part of, you can go and set a customized alert for that company as well. You can visit their company page and you'll get an option on their jobs tab over there to set an alert. So you can go ahead and do that. The moment there is an active job which comes up which is matching your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn will notify you that, hey, member XYZ, there is a job which is open for you. You can go ahead and apply there immediately. Right, on the jobs tab, you could also review jobs that you might be interested in. How we display this is completely through machine learning and AI. We understand your LinkedIn profile, and that is the basis of which we actually show you jobs you are interested in. Like if I am in enterprise, I will get to see more and more jobs around enterprise sales. If there is someone from the HR domain, they will get to see relevant HR jobs on the platform, right? And someone from procurement will get to see relevant procurement jobs. So once you come on the jobs tab, also just go couple of scrolls down. There could be jobs matching your profile. Also, there could be jobs you might be interested in. So we understand your algorithm, the way you've been applying to jobs, and that's how we recommend different jobs to you on the platform. We've covered this where you can follow companies that interest you. Most of the companies also have a live page on LinkedIn. So what you see on Starbucks on the extreme left, I've highlighted the live button for you. You could visit the live section and also get an insider into how the culture is, right, of the company. You can see what their employees are speaking. You can go and see certain modules of the company. You can go and see pictures of their offices, and you get a complete feeler into what the company culture is like over there. You can go and read employee testimonials over there. So spend some time on company pages. Most of them would have live tab over there, and it gives you a complete insider into how the culture and values is of the company. Right, last but not the least, apply actively, right? On the app and on the desktop, you would see something called easy apply option. In the easy apply is a one click apply where you could just click on that and attach your resume or the other professional document that you have, and directly it goes to the recruiter of that particular organization, and you can basically do it on the go through the app wherever you are. And the similar interface is there on the desktop as well. So spend some time on actively applying to jobs. People who are active job seekers, look at the date of posting. We are highly likely that within the first 3 days or first 1 week the company has received a lot of applicants. So jobs which are normally 30 days old or say 15 days old, they would have already received a lot of applications and they would have got processed. So probably a chance of getting a call from there could be a little bit lesser as compared to the jobs which are very recently posted on LinkedIn. So you can actually go through and see the date as well when they were posted on LinkedIn. Right, so we covered these four pillars in terms of, we spoke about identity in terms of how you can build your profile by adding a picture, by getting your summary updated. You can ask for recommendations. We covered that bit. We spoke about how you can network, reach out to beyond your first degree, go to your second degree, third degree connects, and their connections would be able to help you as well. We spoke on how you could get knowledge in terms of following certain influencers, companies on LinkedIn. And we also spoke on how you could communicate, right, through either updates as well as you could publish on LinkedIn as a platform. So these are the strong four pillars that will help build your professional brand on LinkedIn as a platform. And hopefully you could leverage the platform to the best as you move forward on these four aspects. I just would love to leave you with a thought which we strongly believe in, that the next person I connect with could help change your life, be it on LinkedIn or any other platform. And also remember that your network is actually your net worth, right? So the more people you connect with and you're able to influence on the platform, that is something that you will carry throughout. Wherever you go, whichever organization you go, this is going to remain with you. So spend time, about 15-20 minutes a day as you can on the platform. Learn from the platform and give back as well. That would be a win-win for both. And yeah, that was it about from me. I hope I was able to cover this on time. That leaves us with about 15-20 minutes for a Q&A. I am happy to take questions from you as it comes. In case any of you want to see a live thing of a particular feature I spoke on, I'm happy to take you through that in terms of where it is on LinkedIn as well.
Thank you, Rakesh. I think it was really an insightful session for all of us. Now there are certain questions. So what we would do for this question and answer session is I would read out the questions for you, and
Okay.
Rakesh, you can answer one by one. Okay?
Sure, man. How much time do we have? I mean, we have enough time to take all the questions,
Yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes. We
Okay,
have, we
great,
do have.
great,
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. See, the first question is from Mr. P. Aditya Reddy, which says how it helped for us to for the recruiter to catch our profile.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Aditya Reddy. Are you saying that how would recruiters who are using LinkedIn, how would they reach out to your specific
Right.
profile?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
that's a great question. See, today, I mean, because I work on the talent solution side of LinkedIn as well, recruiters today are searching for specific skills and certain specific roles on LinkedIn as a platform, right? So once you have a complete profile and a detailed profile, my first request to all of you would be to cover these steps I spoke on. Detail your profile in terms of experience and all the other section. There is something recent that we've added on LinkedIn, which is also called as skill assessments. So whatever skills you all are professional in, you can actually go and take a skill assessment test on LinkedIn, and it's absolutely free. And once you clear that skill assessment, you can get a verified badge from LinkedIn, which you can display on your profile. And we also display that to the recruiters. So recruiters know that, hey, if I'm looking, say, for a skill on Java and they get thousands of people, they could actually filter out people who've passed Java as an exam as well on LinkedIn. And that will help your profile stand out on the platform. Apart from that, you can also make your profile open to work, which also signals to them that, hey, Mr. XYZ is looking for a change. So they might be available to join us at the earliest. So these are few things that will help your profile stand out. But yes, having the right skills, the right job description attached to your profile makes your profile more reached out to. Having recommendations on your profile, once they deep dive into your profile and they see your profile as an individual, they will also get to see that. Those are things that will stand out on your profile as well. But yes, if you ask me in short, two things, I would say make your profile open. Second, add skill assessments on your profile. Go through those skill assessments and add those batches on your profile.
Thank you, Rakesh. There is another question from Mr. Venkata, which is, I think this would be generally applicable to all, but coming to this specific question, I'm working as electrical engineer from 7 years, and now I'm studying logistic and supply chain management. How can I present myself in LinkedIn?
Okay, that's a great question. So I guess this is something which you're looking to do as an industry shift. And this is something which today a lot of people are doing, given the current pandemic situation we are in. A lot of roles, like say in hospitality and all, have become irrelevant today, and those are the people who are looking for a functional shift. So what I would recommend, as a LinkedIn employee, is definitely, you can use platforms like LinkedIn in terms of being a part of certain groups on LinkedIn which are in the logistics domain. See what the peers over there are talking about. It could be certain topics, it could be certain skills that you need to build. You can use platforms like LinkedIn Learning to upskill yourself in things that are relevant on in the logistics and supply chain industry. Add those as skills on your platform. It could also be, as you're working as an electrical engineer, there are a lot of logistics and supply chain companies who are offering internships. Until you get your job, if you could actually intern with some companies or do certain part-time roles in certain companies, that would also help build your LinkedIn profile, and you can add that on your LinkedIn profile. So by the time you get a call or an interview slot with certain logistics and supply chain company, you would already have the expertise in a lot of things over there, right? You've built your skills through LinkedIn Learning. You've gained knowledge by being a part of few groups and understanding what the peers are saying. And third, you've also understood a lot and done certain internships with some companies. So these are three things that I would recommend.
Right. Thank you, Rakesh. There is another question from Mr. Vipin, which says, how can groups be used to leverage LinkedIn?
Okay. So groups, basically, you can search, like say example, again, I will use the logistics example because it's very recent right now what we discussed. So you can search for specific groups that interest you, right? And when you visit LinkedIn, you can actually see how many members are already a part of those groups. There are active conversations going on in those groups by various individuals. So you can, and there are a lot of jobs being shared in those groups as well. So you could actually go to a specific group, request permission for joining that group. Eventually, whosoever is the admin of that group, once they approve, you could go in and become an active participant in that group, right? With respect to topics that they are sharing over there, the openings that they are sharing. In case your company is hiring, you could go ahead and share your openings as well in those groups. So groups could be leveraged from multiple aspects, gaining knowledge as well as hearing from people, and the third part is also sharing jobs and applying to them as well.
Right. Thank you, Rakesh. Another question from Mr. Nikhil. In professional summary column, how deep shall one explore themselves, or let's say mention or describe about themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question, Nikhil. So something on what I covered, try not to keep it very long. Try and keep it short, and keep it as an elevator pitch. What I mean by elevator pitch, if I meet someone or I meet, say Rohit, or I meet Amar in an event, I'm just introducing myself, like say quickly over a matter of 1 or 2 minutes. What will I say in those 1 or 2 minutes? What Rakesh does as an individual, or what Vivek does as an individual, is something that you should display there. So I would say that you can have a 30,000 feet there, and you can say, okay, Vivek is responsible for doing so many things, and more of it in detail is written in my job experience. So summary should be short and crisp, and it's like something that a person can read through quickly within just a glance.
Right. Thank you, Rakesh. This one is from Miss Deepa, which says, which industry should I choose if my profile is of an executive assistant or personal secretary, as this profile is rarely mentioned in any of the drop boxes?
Okay, so I
Yeah.
guess Deepa, you are referring to more of a job title. So executive assistant is very much there as a job title on LinkedIn. However, I would say that which industry are you working in as an executive assistant, right? It could be you're working with a manufacturing industry, auto industry, or a logistics industry, or a IT industry. So executive assistant is more of a job title. I would request you to go through the industry drop downs. We have covered almost all the industries on the platform. If still you do not have the industry which you are associated with, I would recommend go ahead and choose the nearest closest to that. So if you just Google which says industries on LinkedIn, you will get a complete list of over hundreds of industries, and I'm sure that we've covered that. If you could just put it back in the chat which industry you work with or which company you work with, I would be happy to answer that as well. But executive assistant is more of a job title, and there is a different field for a job title on LinkedIn and a different field for industry.
Right.
I hope
There is
I've been
another.
able to answer your question. Yeah.
Yes. There is another one from Mr. Khalandar. What is the meaning of promoted on the job titles?
Okay, that's a great one, Mr. Kalandar. So a lot of times, this is more of a talent solution that we have. So a lot of times, companies, want to close their position quickly, and they want to target specific job seekers. So we give them that additional, tool which they can promote their job to audiences of their choice, and also keep it on top of the search. So today, if there are thousands of jobs in Java, we give them an option to promote it to say a set of Java individuals in Pune or in Mumbai, say from 5 to 10 years of experience. So they can in the backend target individuals who they want their job to be seen and then push it out to relevant people. So it's more of a corporate solution which we give to companies who are hiring to ensure that they can close the position faster and it reaches to the right amount of people.
Right. Thank you, Rakesh. There is another question from Miss Rekha, which says, I have been offered a few internships lately. I want to be sure that these offers are legitimate. So
Okay.
they must have referred it over LinkedIn. So, just want to secure that they are foolproof.
Okay, so see, my this is a very personal, I mean, very subjective question. I would personally say that any company who is, say asking you for a certain amount that you have to pay to get the internship or get the job, my personal request would be avoid doing that. High probability that they would not be, genuine companies or genuine offers. But in case you've received an, direct internship by the form of an interview which has happened and a proper process that has happened, there is a high possibility that the interview it's a legitimate offer, and you can always foolproof it by going to the company page on LinkedIn. It could also be, by checking with certain of your connects who are already there in the company, or reaching out to some people who are working in that company and asking that you receive something like this. An internal employee would always be aware if in case the company is offering something like that. So my request would be always try and reach out to the HR team of that company that, hey, I came across something like that and this is what I've received. Is it relevant or is it genuine? But yes, if you've not got an interview call, if you've not done any round of interviews with that particular company or any application process that's happened, and you've got the internship just like that, there is high probability that it might not be the right one.
Uh, Thank you, Rakesh. There is another question from Sheetal Chandra Poddar, which says, if you want to share your LinkedIn profile link, how to find that and share with others?
Okay, Amar, can I go online?
Yeah, sure. You can share your screen.
So, Amar, whose question was this again, please?
Sheetal Chandra Poddar.
Okay, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, it is visible, Rakesh.
Yeah. So once you go online to LinkedIn.com, right? On the left hand side is where you will see your profile picture. You can just click
Rakesh,
on your profile.
Rakesh, sorry to say, but I think it has been freezed, your screen. We cannot see you log in into the LinkedIn as such.
Is it
Yeah,
visible
now,
now?
yes, yes, now it is visible. Yes.
My bad. Sorry. So once you go
Okay.
into your LinkedIn profile, right? You can just click on your profile picture name, and on top is where you will get a specific URL that gets customized for you. You can always copy this URL and then share it with people. What you'll also see on the right is something called edit your public profile URL. A lot of you would see certain other numbers ahead of your profile. So the best part is to ideally customize it. You can actually edit your custom URL and just have your name put there. So it gives your profile link a clean image, and you can actually save it and use this as the URL and send it out to people. And you can actually copy it in your signatures as well.
Right. There is another question from Mr. Prafulla Kumar Das. If somebody is not technologically savvy, how will he or she can effectively use LinkedIn?
Okay, that's a great question. I mean, I would say that it would take hardly 5 minutes of your time to create a LinkedIn profile. It's as simple when you say you need to have a basic at least understanding of the computer, language, and how you can log in through the web. If you know how to use the web, even like opening an account on Gmail or some other platforms, it's as simple as doing that. So you could follow steps. There are videos in terms of how there are step by step approach on YouTube as well, on how you can go about building a great LinkedIn profile. So if you ask me, it's pretty simple. If you're a first time thing to LinkedIn, an individual, my request would be use it on the desktop. You will have the LinkedIn will direct you steps in terms of what you need to put on your profile and build it. And you could then again, just as I said, click on the your profile link. You will see an pencil icon, and whichever steps are incomplete, LinkedIn will ask you to complete those particular steps to create a basic profile. So if you ask me, it's pretty easy, but yes, I wouldn't know until the technical difficulties faced by every individual could be a little bit challenging. Everyone would not be proficient in how to use a computer. I totally understand that. In that case, if you are an avid mobile user, you could download the LinkedIn app and do it through that. Or I'm sure you would have young children, young people at home. You can always take their help, and it would just take 5 minutes for them to create your profile on the platform.
Right. There is another question from Mr. Alok Singh which says, how can a free and premium LinkedIn membership make a difference?
Yeah, that's a great question, Alok. So 90% of the things you can do through your LinkedIn profile, right? Which is also there in the LinkedIn Premium. However, Premium gives you certain additional advantages when you're looking at. So there are two variants, right? There is a Premium, and I'm honestly not here to advocate a Premium or something else, but definitely in case you want to upskill yourself only, you can use LinkedIn Learning, and that option is available even with MIT, right? So you can actually use LinkedIn and upskill yourself. However, in case you want certain job insights, some specific insights, so through LinkedIn Premium you get certain company insights as well. If you visit a company page, you get to see certain insights about the company. Are they growing, are they degrowing, which roles have they been growing in? Those are certain insights which we are able to pass back to you. And also you get certain insights in terms of who is viewing your profile on LinkedIn, right? So you will get those notifications that which people are coming and visiting your LinkedIn profile. So if those aspects are important to you, then I would recommend to go ahead and use a premium. However, we give 1 month of free premium to most of the members on LinkedIn. You should see that. And after 1 month, if you do not want to continue, you can always discontinue your account from there.
Thank you, Rakesh.
My personal suggestion would be, but yes, sorry, Amar, would
Right,
be to spend
right.
time first on the free account, get your profile up to date, and there's a lot what you can do here as well, and then move to the premium. Yeah, sorry, Amar.
Right, no issues. There is one question from Mr. Manish, which says that how LinkedIn is helpful to search jobs and get one in India and outside, and how post-COVID situation has impacted on it.
So yeah, I mean, LinkedIn is no different, right? Post COVID has impacted everyone, and it is like, say, globally. Amar, can you come up with the question again? How with respect to the job part?
Well, it says how LinkedIn will be helpful to search jobs in and outside India, and how it has been affected, post-COVID situation. So let's say if earlier pre-COVID period, LinkedIn would have been very efficient in, let's say, kind of, searching or getting jobs for, people. But how post-COVID, how the situation has been different.
Yeah, so definitely that's a great question, right? So definitely the number of jobs on LinkedIn has come down, and it has been the case on all the other platforms, right? So, but at least the ones which are active, you can have complete visibility into it. Globally, yes, though certain global markets are impacted, but the best part is a lot of companies today are realizing that the people need not be in their specific location for you to work in that company, right? Like to give an example of LinkedIn, say if we would say that, okay, I want a person to be based in California only, today the same work can be done by someone sitting in India, because today everyone is working remotely. So you will see a lot of companies today who have come up with remote jobs. So you can spend time in case you are an active aspirant to go to a specific location and work there. My request would be, find out what are the visa guidelines there. Do you have those visas in place to apply for jobs there? Because high probability, if they receive hundreds of applications, and some people are already locals of that area or have the visas to work in that country, the company would give them a preference as compared to you. But however, you could always ask for referrals, go onto that company page, see if you have some common connects, and you could apply to jobs from there. But definitely, yes, the jobs have been impacted on the platform. But the good sign is in the last 2 months, we've seen the jobs grow on LinkedIn as a platform compared to what it was in April and May.
Right. Thank you, Rakesh. There is another question from Mr. Arun, which says, of course, you have meticulously mentioned on what to do over a LinkedIn profile, but can you specify certain things which we need not do on our profiles?
Okay, need
So
not
you,
do.
yeah,
Yeah,
so you have
that
mentioned a
that
lot about do's, but what about the
yeah.
don'ts?
See, don'ts in terms of, I would say, see, this is your professional brand, right? Just take it as a digital representation of a Rakesh or Amar. So the don'ts would be, what are the things you wouldn't want people to perceive about you, right? Those all would be don'ts. It is your first impression, like what we call it as. Every company would go to your LinkedIn profile, even though you've submitted their resume to them. So whatever you do not want people to perceive about you or have those impressions, yes, I would say don't do that on LinkedIn. Again, a don't would be, don't randomly just keep sending connection invites if you do not know people. Send those custom invitations with the right reasons on the platform. Don't have too many things added on your profile. Don't put a wrong something that you've not done and you try to mention that on your profile because you are connected to a lot of your other peers or places you worked in the past. It's very easy to identify that Rakesh has not done this and he's still written it in his or her profile, right? So just keep it clean, keep it true to what you are, and that should be healthy of you being on LinkedIn as a platform. Anything that you see that is irrelevant or that you find objectionable content on LinkedIn, there is an option again to click on these three dots and also report that particular post. So you can report it. It goes to a compliance team of LinkedIn, and within 24 hours, we also take action on it.
Right. This is another question from Mr. Saswat, which says, how important is headline for our LinkedIn profile? What should it contain to make the profile stand out?
Yeah, headline is the most important thing, right? If I come on LinkedIn and I search for a particular individual, the first thing that is visible to me next to a person's name is the person's headline. And I will go back to the slide which I had put, go back to think about, what are those three adjectives you want to be known by, or what is the thing that you are making a difference on LinkedIn as a platform? What are things that you're passionate about? Headline can also be a job title, but it can be much more than that, right? So get creative about how you can add a headline or write a headline on LinkedIn. And that is the first thing that is visible to people when you actually send them a connection invite as well. So just become creative about it. Think about those three adjectives. Ask your friends that how would they best describe you. And those are things that you can add in your headline. And it's very important. Yeah.
Uh, Perfect, Rakesh. Over here, I would like to, really thanks a lot to you for providing great insights about LinkedIn, how to use them. We would definitely take this as an opportunity to thanks you and LinkedIn specifically to have this session conducted. And for all the students, there have been certain questions about where to find out the PDF for the session, which it is already available in the handout section of the GoToWebinar on your panel, so you can download it from there. And some of the questions did also some of the questions were also about the video recording of the session. So the session would be posted on our official YouTube channel of MIT SDE in 4 working days, so you would be definitely able to find it over there by next week. So thanks a lot once again to all the students who have come to the session, and thanks to Rakesh for conducting this in a very meticulous manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice weekend.